What's going on, guys? I'm doing a video today on how much it costs to insure my 2016 BMW M2. This video is for any of you that are kind of interested in purchasing one, but you're not sure what the insurance looks like. So hopefully this can kind of give you guys somewhat of an idea. So I'm going to break everything down pretty much on my premiums. I pay per 6 months, so I'm going to then on the screen break it down per month. And I'm going to go pretty much line by line talking about what coverage I have. Now, there is a big caveat to this whole video. My insurance is pretty much what it is, but you guys' insurance, even if you're 95% just like me, may be completely different. We can be the same in every single way, but you might be one town over and pay double the insurance that I do. So that's just the nature of insurance. So take this entire video with a grain of salt, because most of insurance obviously has to do with you. I'm 30 years old. I live in Connecticut in the United States. I have one bad accident on my record that was at fault, and I have no tickets. So to give you a bit of perspective, so let's start talking about my M2. So my 6-month premium for my BMW M2 is $1,011. If you break that down by month, that comes to $168.50 a month. So if you just want the flat number, that's what it is, pretty much $169 a month. So let's break that down into some more specifics. So the primary coverage I have is 100, 300, 100. For those of you that aren't familiar with how insurance works in most of the United States, essentially it breaks it down by the type of financial damage that you incur. So bodily injury, $100,000 for each person, up to $300,000 per accident, and then property damage, $100,000 for the accident. So that's kind of the 100, 300, 100 split. There's a lot of different splits. There's like legal minimums. There's like really highs of like, I think it's like 500, 1,500,000. After that, you start looking at umbrella policies and stuff like that. It's really important. That's pretty much what I have as my core policy. I do have a $1,000 deductible. I have basic roadside assistance, and then I get rental reimbursement for $40 a day. So that's the gist of my coverage. So let's break that down by actual costs. So on the M2, for 6 months, collision comes to $329. So that's $54 a month. Comprehensive with glass, that's basically anything that's not a collision, is $103 per 6 months, which comes to $17 a month. So rental reimbursement comes to $14. Roadside assistance, $5. Now again, this is for 6 months. Reparations benefits and additional reparations benefits. So that's generally like additional compensation for accidents for different types of things. That comes to about $50 for 6 months. Uninsured and underinsured, $54. Property damage, $91. And then the largest one is bodily injury liability. That's $360, which comes to $60 a month. So that is pretty much the full breakdown of how much I pay for insurance on the BMW M2. Now here's some interesting bits for you. So for the 6 month for the M2, it was $1,011. I also have a daily driver, which is a 2013 Subaru Impreza with a rebuild title. And that for 6 months is $911. That comes to $151 a month. So it is obviously less than my M2, but not by all that much. Another little fun tidbit is when I had my black M240i, I actually paid more for that car than when I bought my first BMW M2. So I upgraded to the M2, which has more power and is rear-wheel drive and is also more expensive, and yet my insurance went down. So it's definitely important if you're looking at buying a car, like especially any kind of sports car, like just get a quote, because there is a good chance that depending what the car is, you may get a lower insurance than for a typical daily driver. Now, most likely that's gonna have to do with how little you're probably gonna drive the car and how many people actually have accidents in those cars. So that's really why I say, guys, take everything in this video with a grain of salt. That is just my policy to give you guys an idea of how much I pay to insure my BMW M2 and pretty much my Impreza. If you guys go to buy one, you can probably expect to be in that range. If you're on the East Coast, then you're very similar to me in terms of like age and stuff like that. But if you live a couple states over, you may pay far less or far more. So it's really all up in the air. So I hope you guys found this video somewhat informative or helpful. If you did, let me know. Let me know what you guys pay for insurance on your BMW M2 or whatever car you have. Leave me a like if you like this video. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time.